Hello and welcome to our recap of our recent trip to Horcott Lakes.
Hello.
As you can see, well, if you know Horcott Lakes, you'll probably recognise that we're not at Horcott Lakes at the moment because the weather was so windy and
A few rainstorms.
torrential rain that it just wasn't possible to do it at the end of the session. So we're out on the bank today at a different venue, so we thought we'd bring you the recap
Of Horcott.
of Horcott.
Absolutely. This video at Stay and End will follow shortly, but what did we do at Horcott? First visit for you, mate?
It was my first visit, a venue I've wanted to fish for a long time. Steve extended an invitation for me to go and fish there with him and Liam Hodges.
That was a silly mistake, I reckon.
It was. So I took him up on it before he could change his mind,
Absolutely.
and wasn't disappointed really. Probably our timing wasn't perfect weather-wise.
As per every session, I think we pretty much pick it wrong.
Yeah.
Get the dates wrong, but obviously we plan to go out with Liam, do a bit of filming, obviously do a recce, get some information, lay of the land sort of thing.
Yeah.
And bad timing, but made the most of it.
We certainly did. We pulled up in the car park, went for a walk to try and choose our swims,
Yeah.
and as we were walking around, in the first hour we probably saw 10 or 20 shows.
Yeah, I think by the time we sort of established the swim, 20 plus shows, I reckon.
Yeah, it was. They were crashing. Not all the time, but
No.
definitely in one area
A
of the
few
lake,
proper
weren't they?
sort of out and splodoshes, and a lot of it sort of dolphin, sort of top and tail type thing, but
Yeah.
subtle. But watching the water, yeah, you could definitely see them out there.
And luckily for us, they were boshing near an area of the lake that was free of anglers.
Yep.
So we went round.
To the beach, wasn't it?
Yeah, in
For-
time-honoured tradition, the furthest away
gonna
from the
say.
car park you could get.
Furthest swim possible, and it wasn't the easiest of walks with the barrow, was it?
It wasn't. No,
But we got there.
especially as Liam was wearing trainers.
It wasn't the sensiblest thing
Looked like
Liam's
he was
ever done.
ice skating. But it amused me and Steve, so we were all for it, really.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we set up in the beach, spent a couple of hours probably getting everything prepped,
Yeah.
finding some spots. There was quite a lot of weed has sprung up. Still lots of places to find if you led around.
Yeah, no, the weed wasn't an issue, but it definitely proved that, over the sort of span of a session, you had to be on those spots.
Yeah, you couldn't
Some-
pub chuck it.
No, some of the spots were quite small as well,
They were.
sort of 3 foot sort of squared, a couple a bit bigger, a couple a bit smaller, so it was one of those things that, positioning was key.
Definitely.
Which we, found out a little bit later on, but on the advice of Liam, he had a good lead round, he found a nice spot at sort of 26 wraps. Went with a bit of bait as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Spot sort of funnel web bags, no, solid bags for you, wasn't it? to start
Solid
with?
bags for me, and zigs as well. I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
as well.
So I mean, pretty much throughout the course of the day, a few little bags went out, didn't they? And a couple of different spots that we
Yeah.
saw. We continued to see a sort of few shows, so we knew that we weren't a million miles away from the carp. Liam obviously put his bait out again. He tried a zig, a couple on the baited spots. So he was fishing sort of crumbed boilie, the
Yeah.
Nat 365, a bit of the A mix, and a few sort of small pellets.
That's it, yep.
A bit of maggot as well in the mix.
Yeah, there's a bit of maggot in there to break it up a bit, yep.
Which was the same fuel spot mix as well, wasn't it?
It was exactly the same. So that was the way we set out in the morning. The afternoon came and went,
Yeah.
and then late afternoon around tea time, wasn't it?
Yep.
Had our first run, which I managed to
Sort
lose
of
in
come
the
out the
weed.
blue a bit, really,
It
didn't
did. Yeah,
it was like a beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that?
So that, yeah, it was on for a little while and then buried its head in the weed, and unfortunately we lost that one.
But that was one of the really close in spots, wasn't it? Like
It was
10 wraps?
10
12
wraps.
Is it
10
12?
wraps, yeah.
Yeah, 10 wraps. So, I mean, and that was between wee beds. Nice little position with a solid.
It was. Yeah. So rods were recast, replaced.
There's a bit of excitement now.
It was.
Got the blood pumping.
And just before it got dark, we sort of recast all of the rods, didn't we?
Yeah.
Liam put a bit more bait out again as well.
Yeah.
And then just after 10 o'clock, Liam had a run
Yep.
um,
During the rain.
during the rain.
absolutely horrendous.
We were all hiding in the bivvies at the time.
Yeah, I was showing my support, cheering him on from the comforts of the nice, dry, warm bivvy.
By shouting, "Mark, can you get your coat on and help Liam?"
Mark, get out there, give him a hand.
which I did. I did help.
I couldn't really film much, to be fair, in the rain. So no. I did a little bit from a shelter.
We did, and we got the fish in.
Yes.
And unfortunately for Liam, it was a tench.
So it was absolutely pouring down. Took out all of his rods.
Yeah.
And it was a green little tinker. So yeah, not exactly what we were going for, but
no.
Such is life.
Yeah. So Liam had to then reset all 3 rods in the rain, which he did. And
no, 10 out of 10 for effort. But I mean, to be fair, I think that's why he catches a lot of fish. I mean, just looking at that weather, looking at the bivvy, I don't think I would have bothered. He put in 110% effort.
Did, and it wasn't just chucking them out either, was it? No. They all had to be perfectly on that spot again as well.
He recast 2 or 3 times, and I would have been like, I think a lot of anglers would have been that'd do.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it was a rod length out; it was probably a few feet. But Liam knowing the lake inside and out, he knew that wasn't good enough, and obviously made sure that it was on the spots. But,
yeah. Good angling, really.
Yeah, no,
very good.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
And so the rest of the night was pretty uneventful, apart from a bit of drifting weed. So every now and again you'd get a few beeps, and you'd be up in your bed, and clearing some weed off the line during the night.
Yeah.
And then first thing, very early in the morning, had another run, didn't we? Very slow run. Didn't really tear off at all.
Bobbing up into the alarm.
Thought it was just weed drifting again at first, really.
Yeah.
But then, we were lucky enough to get amongst. Well, I was lucky enough to get amongst a Horcott Carp, which
absolutely off the mark, mate. First one in the bag.
Lovely dark common.
Top
not the biggest in the lake, but it was
I think relatively. Not say relatively small. It was a decent carp. But
it
a small carp
carp
for the lake standard, because most of them are sort of low 20s to sort of 24, aren't they? Something. But
considering the conditions and things as well, there was a fair few anglers on, and I know Lee had another common.
Managed a small common, but he was there for about 48 as well.
And a guy called Jordan was on the point, and he smashed it up a bit as well.
He had 3 or 4 in a couple of days.
Yeah, a couple of 30s.
Mid 30 as well, so he did really well, and that was on solids as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So solids were definitely the method for the time that we were there.
Yeah.
We had a really good trip, and the weather was pretty horrendous. My bivvy had a river running through it, which was lovely, but
it goes back to the bad timing, I suppose.
Yeah, it was overnight. The rain was pretty heavy all night, and the wind was the wind completely changed direction and blew right in our faces as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
But hey, we were out, we were fishing. I wasn't too worried.
No.
We dried out in the end when we got home.
I didn't fish. I was just doing a bit of filming. Obviously, we went with Liam to do some product stuff, and in hopes that we would have timed it right for the carp. But obviously, with Liam's help, you managed a couple of bites.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, lost one, and a couple of other fish came in around the lake. But I think a relatively slow weekend by their standards. But got some absolutely incredible carp in there. I think like 30 or 40 30s in there, something like that.
Yeah.
And in excess of like 500 plus carp, up to 500 to 800 carp, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
But with an average of upper double to low 20s.
And they're catchable.
Definitely.
They do get some really good hits down there.
Well,
we were unlucky with the weather
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But even through the cold, it's done some stunning fish this winter, and some hits of fish as well. Not just the odd one.
Yeah. Definitely
somewhere I want to go back to as soon as I can.
All different tactics as well, like the zigs, the bags, overbait.
Yeah.
Liam's said he's had quite a lot of big hits before overbait, a little bit of maggot and stuff in there. But
and my rods were out at 10 and 12 wraps, so and I
range.
caught, so it shows you don't have to cast to the moon to catch there either.
No, definitely not.
So if you get the opportunity, definitely check it out. And
wasn't an action-packed vlog, this one, obviously, but learned an awful lot.
we did.
Really looking forward to getting back out. A massive thanks to Lee and Les.
Yeah.
Les for saving us with the quad bike on the way back.
Yeah,
that is an absolute must.
It is. They do
Book
a
it, pay
tackle
it. It's
delivery service.
absolutely
It's worth every penny.
I don't know if it's us getting old or out of shape, mate, but
I think a bit of both.
lazy maybe. But yeah, no, take that up definitely for sure, because slogging it round there, we did like 3 trips with a barrow to get there, and we thought, no, we're not doing that on the way back, so that's worth every penny.
Definitely.
But most importantly, plenty of really nice scaly fish to go at. So.
Yeah, definitely nice little lake. Definitely one worth fishing if you get the chance.
Yeah,
and we'll definitely be back to have a proper go again, won't we?
Yeah, 100%. Really looking forward to it, to be fair. Not much else to say about the session, really, is there?
No.
It's available via booking, so you can book that online. We will add the links to the page and the booking in the comments, so check that out. But I'm sure you've seen the Horcott page. If you haven't, check it out on Facebook. It's absolutely loaded full of fish and loads of top tips and stuff. So
and Lee and Les don't keep everything to themselves. They're more than happy to tell you how the lake's been fishing.
They got
any advice you need.
Quite a few bailiffs down there as well. They're always on hand. Les obviously doing the photos. John at the weekend. Everyone helps each other out.
Yeah. We found it to be a really friendly place, didn't we?
Yeah, really good, and I think that makes a massive difference.
It does. Yeah.
So, Horcott Lakes.
Yeah, get on it.
More from us on our next venture. But if you haven't given it a go, check it out.
Yeah. See you soon.
Cheers, guys.
I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave.